The very patient Adam G. Stock has watched me fighting with my cell phone for 10 minutes here pre-show. But it's showtime now. It's Old Man Squad Fantasy Basketball, presented by FanDuel and the FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm Dan Vespris, and today we're getting Stock's dudes, Stock's sexy studs, or some alliterative fun.
Yeah, you could probably there's one that's probably popping in people's heads right now for sure. You hear that a couple times in the playground as a kid growing up. You become immune to it.
Yeah, it's where we're at this point. I'm trying to come up with an alliteration. And for everybody that's been on the show, I had some issues with Eric, which is assonance. If anybody wants a grammar lesson at the beginning of the show, when you start a word with the same letter over and over again, but it's a vowel, it's not alliteration anymore. It's a different thing. We're going to get right into it, though. Before we get started, please like, rate, and subscribe. You can find Adam, all of his work at Elite Fantasy Basketball. He's on social media at Adam G. Stock. You have the controls of the boat, as I tell all of our guests this time of year. You can take us wherever we want to go. I don't even know how many players you want to talk about. You want to do 5? What was the number today?
I wrote down 10, but
whoa,
we could do 5. We could do 5.
we can do.
It's like it doesn't matter. Yeah, I just kind of like pick the guys. It's like I'm going after. I have to hold myself back from putting them as the main guys in every build just because I like them so much.
You know what? Otherwise... Let's do 10. Screw it. Okay. We can do this thing. We'll move at a good clip. I'll keep the trains running on time. With that in mind, get us started. Where are we going for number 1?
Okay, so this is an easy one to start. We'll go with Reaves. Like Reaves to me is a third round guy going in the 5th. Like you look at his line and you're like, why is this guy in the 5th? It's better than a lot of the guards in the 3rd. So for him, I'm going around the 4th every time. I don't think you have to go in the 3rd, but in the 4th, he's like one of my automatic dudes. And in just about everything was looking great in preseason so far. Just he from a category scarcity standpoint, he's a stud. You get that free throw percentage impact and points. He's averaging steals, but assists are good for his position. So there's really nothing to complain about. Pretty sturdy too. And got two teammates that tend to miss 15 plus. So he'll have some real big stretches too.
Yeah, I have no argument on this one. Reaves, I think it was a Saturday or Sunday. I put out my 7 favorite players on this but you could have put it on any of the Yahoo boards so far. And Reaves was the only one I had inside the top 90 where I was like, this guy, I must get Austin. And I worry now that you and I are going to do drafts with people who listen to our stuff, and we're not going to be able to get Reaves in those. But in most drafts, you can get him in the 4th. Like, it's pretty easy to get him in the 4th in most spots. And in some places, he even falls a little bit farther than that. So, yeah. And if we got 9 more names, I got nothing to add on this one. Adam, who's number 2? We're going fast today, baby.
Okay, this is the guy. I just absolutely love his price. I see no downside. And I see a ton of upside, but I love Okongwu. Just at his price. You look at the Hawks rotation, and they don't have anything in the front court beside the starters in Okongwu. So I think you can get to 27. So you get 18 at backup center with Porzingis off the floor, and then you only need 9 with Porzingis at the 4. So I think that's doable. They don't really have another big minute guy that they can throw at the 4 or the 5. So 27 was what he needed last year to be top 60. Like he's never really top 60 guy because he's either worse than that or way better than that. So you're probably getting to 27 before injuries. And then you think, okay, he's probably going to start 30 to 40 games. Like Porzingis is probably going to miss, 25, we'll say? 20, 25. And then I wouldn't write off Jalen Johnson just yet from a health perspective, but given what we've seen, you probably got to assume at least 15. So there going to be a lot of starts in there. And we know when he starts, he's top 30-ish. And I just love his line too. You can get the big man numbers. But he's not hurting you from 3 or he's not hurting you from the line. Well, a lot of the bigs in that range do.
So this is an interesting one because Okongwu I've been on the fence about a little bit, probably for all the reasons that you actually just sort of batted away like little gnats coming at you, which is what did the addition of Kristaps Porzingis do to Okongwu? You see him as being better than he was when he was stuck behind Clint Capella.
Yeah, just because I think the minutes on the nights off the bench will be there this year. They just really don't have another front court guy. So yeah, you just need 9 minutes beside with Porzingis at the 4 per game. And I think they'll do that.
Uh,
And even if he comes in low and he's like 25, he's still good. Like he's a stud per minute guy. Plus, it's possible his block rate bounces back, and if it does, then like the minute requirement gets even lower.
he's going in the 90s, I think, right now,
Yeah,
and it does feel like even in kind of a bad case scenario, he's still going to be around like 90s, right? Like that,
yeah,
you're sort
that's
of
like his
getting into like,
floor. Yeah,
yeah,
there's no outside of injury. Of course, everyone can get hurt,
right.
but like from a per game standpoint, there was zero downside there.
And and this is kind of surprising too. And we're spending a little more time on Okongwu only because he's a guy that hasn't been talked about that much on my show. So I like this is a name we get to hit around a little bit. Guys that are around him, centers, I should say, that are going around him. Mark Williams is ranked like 5-6 slots ahead. Donovan Klingon 6-7 slots ahead. Jakob Poeltl's about 9-10 slots ahead. It feels like, and by the way, I like all of those guys, but it feels like they're all getting reached for a little bit in a way that Okongwu is not. How do you stack up those four center names? Not necessarily like who do you want the most, but like how does that value proposition strike you?
Yeah, I think Okongwu is the best value, but actually, I don't know. I would probably say Pirtle just because Pirtle is I think Pirtle is going to be really, really good. But when I'm just looking at those guys, for me, it almost always comes down to build. Like they're fairly different. Mark Williams is kind of like his own thing. Like you either want to roll the dice or you don't. But with the other guys like Klingon, Pirtle, and Okongwu, those are all guys I'm looking at in different spots. So they're not necessarily competing bigs all the time. Like sometimes they are for sure, especially Pirtle and Okongwu. Um, but yeah, for those guys, it kind of depends on it. Do I have to reach for them? Like I would probably rather have Okongwu in 8 or 9 than some of those guys in like 6 or something or whatever they're getting reached for. But it'll come down. Do I want to take the free throw percentage hit that comes with a lot of those guys? Do I want to be without my mid round big for 30 games potentially? So yeah. So that's not like that. It's not a super clean comparison just because I think there's enough differences there.
Let's go to number 3. We're on a clock today, baby. Third
Yeah,
player on the stock list.
yeah. I know you'll like these. So I would say Asar is one of my guys. Like Amen was my number one guy last year, so I kind of have to have his brother like the same. But I also with Asar, my problem is now that he moved up, it's like why would I take him when I can just take Camara like a couple rounds later? You know, so both of those guys are kind of my guys, but I
Is
lean
that
Camara at the
are
moment.
those 3 and 4 together?
Yeah, I grouped them, so it's really 11.
So it's 11. So which
I
one of
think
those
so.
2 do you want to talk about? Asar or Kamara?
Let's do Kamara. I'm sure other people have brought up Asar. Uh,
I
I
love
know you
have
love
you been
Kamara.
are you trying yeah, are you trying to just make me happy on this show today?
No. It's just we have the same similar taste in basketball
It's
players.
true.
You know, so similar taste in men. We just like the percentages. We like the guys who produce like the clean lines. You
Mhm.
know, and
I
we're
love
not
me a clean line.
So yeah, it's Kamara. I know some people are worried about Grant, but Kamara started every game last year. He's an all D guy. They're going to play him. With Grant, it's more like that could hurt Sharp. I'm not too worried about
Mhm.
Kamara, and I don't think what we saw last year down the stretch is necessarily his ceiling. He progressed quite a bit as an offensive player. Like you're rostering him for his steals and to a lesser extent his rebounds, but I think like he could be a 15 point per game guy this year.
Yeah, everybody that's watched this show knows how over the moon I am about Toumani Camara, and I love to have someone else sort of
Yeah,
backing up what I've said. So I don't want to spend too much time on someone that I'm so high on, but like down the stretch last year, he was a 15 point per game guy. Final whatever it was, 13, 14 games when and admittedly, Jeremy Grant was hurt and Simons had been shut down. But it's just a matter of time. You already said it's just a matter of time before Jeremy Grant isn't there again this season. And Simons is gone. So it's Avdia, Shaden Sharp are the usage guys. Sharp might not even be starting. We don't know. He might be the bench gunner on that team. And then up for grabs, the rest of it. So why not Kamara? It only took him 11 shots to get there. I love him a lot. Everybody knows I love him a lot. I also love Asar, who you mentioned, although his ADP is skyrocketing, and Kamara's is actually going later as draft season goes, which is like, my heart. Be still my heart on this ultra late Toumani Camara. So that was numbers 3 and 4 out of 11. Before we get to number 5 out of 11, what you got going on over at EFB, my good man?
Yeah, we're just wrapping up. Almost everything is out. So today I'm going to put out the when to draft guide. That's piece of unique content that the site puts out. It basically tells you like how high can you go on certain guys. Let's say you like Austin Reaves, like how high can you go without it starting to be like a stupid pick. So I do that for all of the top 100 for 9 cat, and I do it all for the top 100 for 8cat. So that's the most recent thing, but we've got all the punting guides out. We've got all the pairing guides out, fast start guides, which are a great tool if you don't have time. I basically just give you 6-man combinations that work really well. So if you just don't have time to prep, sign up, try to copy one or get something pretty close to it, and you'll be in pretty good shape. And then do that, pick some of the sleepers, and like you'll probably have a good team.
Stocky, what do you think about the guard build this year? Because I find it annoying this season.
Yeah, man. Like you're talking to the right guy. Like I'm a big man guy. Like I always just gravitate towards that. I don't want I kind of want to zag where people are zigging.
It's just too many.
You know, just like people just love they just see the punt field goal percentage guards, Trey, Cade, and stuff. People fall in love with that because points, assists, and it's just I want to swerve on that. So
also,
and plus. And Wembanyama just like kills those dudes because the Wembanyama team's probably gonna do something similar. So yeah.
But here's the other thing though, and I didn't mean to interrupt. The board reshuffling that just took place has squished all of the guards away from who normally gets back to Victor Wembanyama. Like very few of them are going at the end of the second round, beginning of the third round now. Did you notice that in the latest board?
Yeah, you kind of got to like gamble on LaMelo.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Brunson could fall, but Brunson's low upside. And then who's the next guy after that? Like Jamal Murray, maybe?
Jamal Murray? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Who's good, but
yeah,
he's not exciting kind of at, let's say 25.
Yeah, and he's not like traditional. What is he, 6 assists a game? He's not going to be like 8 or 9, and his field goal percent is actually pretty good. So
yeah, for sure. He's kind of like Austin Reaves.
Reaves.
Like, no, the lines aren't that different, but like Jamal's going to go top 30 probably.
Yep. All right, let's get back to some of the players on the board here. Check out Elite Fantasy Basketball and follow Adam G. Stock on social. And if you like what we're doing here in our lightning round edition of this show, please remember to like, rate, and subscribe for the love of all that is holy. That's the big one. Please hit that subscribe button. Stock, who is number, technically it's 5 because, you know, we
I don't even know if it's going to be 10. It could be 12 to 13. This is the end of preseason. My brain is just like cooked at this point. Yeah, so like Poeltl's my next guy. I think people are sleeping on how good he was last year. I don't understand his ADP at all, given how good he was. He was like a first-round player in some builds. So if you're putting him in like punt threes or punt free throw percentage, like the upside there at whatever 7th round price, I'd be willing to go earlier than that for sure.
Why do you think people are weirdly low on Jakob Poeltl? Because I thought like he's number 84 on Yahoo. He was number 90 last week. I know I know he's moving up, but that's not very much. And like, I get it. He's probably not going to take as many shots this year, but that wasn't really why you were drafting him anyway.
Yeah, but who cares? Yeah, I think he's just kind of I think people just don't get that deep into it. They're like, wow, Toronto's like starting lineup has a lot of high usage guys. Like, let's stay away. It's going to be messy, but like that really doesn't matter with Poeltl. They don't have a proper backup center. And the thing was last year, his numbers were actually like would have been even better, but they started messing around with his minutes. Like he was playing minutes in the 20s for most of the like down the stretch last year. So this year is going to be like 30, 31 all year, and he's probably just going to absolutely crush it. The big question is the free throw percentage. Like he shot 67 last year, which feels like a fluke to me, given what he's done before. Like, yeah, guys improve, but free throw percentage has so much year-to-year variance. I wouldn't trust that. But even if he regresses a little bit there, you're still in good shape. And as long as you go in the middle round, shooting like 83, 82, 83, you can take the free throw percentage hit for sure.
I love it. Let's proceed, because I also like Jakob Poeltl, to number 6 on the board.
6. Okay, I'll skip a guy because I realized I did like 13. But so I like Donte. DiVincenzo. I think people kind of stopped paying attention to him after the first half of the year, where he didn't really work out as a late round flyer. But some of that was injury, some of that was just getting used to the new team. But I mean, he figured it out late. He was top 65 over the last three months. So I think he can outplay his draft position pretty comfortably. But the reason I really like him is just like you can get 3 threes and above average steals and like 3.5 assists from him in like what, the
Mm-hmm.
10th or 11th. Like that's not a line you usually find that late. So I just find this is my go-to if I take a lot of those mid-round bigs who can be really good value, and then my threes are struggling, maybe my steals are struggling as well. Like this guy can kind of almost fix it by himself.
Yeah, he's an interesting one too because I think I have been sleeping on Donte DiVincenzo, and I had an epiphany about 4 days ago because I'd been kind of like, I don't say ignoring him, but yeah, kind of ignoring him because he's going pretty late, and like I was thinking, whatever, like okay, Donte, you were fine, but I do think that the Wolves they lost depth. Is that a fair assessment of this offseason? And like,
For
if you're
sure.
worried about what his role was when they were fully healthy last year, okay, that's fine. But you're removing a guy that down the stretch was playing like 25 minutes a game in Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's not there anymore. It kind of feels like at least some of that, not all, obviously, but it feels like at least some of that has to go to Donte, right?
Yeah, and you don't need it all to go Dante. You just need him to get to like 29 minutes per game. He was doing
Yeah.
that top 65 run in like 25, 26. And like at Conley's age, like the wheels could just come off too. So you don't know what you're going to get with Conley this year at all. And I don't think they're young. I don't think Dillingham is quite ready. So I think Dante has a pretty good shot again in the high 20s. And he's a great per minute guy. So you shouldn't be scared away from him because he's now playing 32.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, and it took me a while to get on board on the Donte train. Part of why I finally did come around on DiVincenzo is because so many of the guys that I loved that were going around 100 all just got pushed up 15 to 20 slots on the board, and I was like, well, I need a new set of guys that I can look at between 100 and
Yeah.
120. And I was like, oh, hey, wait a minute, like Dante's there now. Am I missing something on him? And the conclusion I came to was yes, I was missing something on him, and it was the Nickeil Alexander-Walker thing. So I think this is a good one. It does feel like, if he gets to 27, 28 minutes, he could be a top 75 guy in that amount of time. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then you put him in punt field goal percentage or something. There's another round and a half. So yeah, but again, really useful line too. Like where are you going to find threes, steals, and assists like that? A late like Pods kind of does that, but in those categories, Dante would be better.
Yeah. Pods is another guy that I like, although I liked him before. So less of a Dan Vespers waking up late scenario. And I'll take the hit on this type of stuff. I wasn't caught up on Donte. I was late to the party on this one, but I'm
Yeah, I
comfortable
mean,
with
I
that.
mean, opinions change. My opinions have changed over preseason on a whole bunch of guys,
Yeah, I know.
and they're
I
going to
feel
continue
bad.
to change as we see more rotations, for sure.
Yes, I appreciate you giving me sort of an apology or like giving me the out, like the get out of jail free card on that. But people that have been watching my show, they're like, Dan, why the hell haven't you talked about Donte? And I screwed that one up. I should have come around a little sooner on this one. It took me some time, but I'm getting there. Hey, friends, a reminder, this show is brought to you by our buddies over at FanDuel and the FanDuel Sportsbook. If you are looking at season win totals, the Timberwolves are at 49.5. Remember, they finished really strong last year. If you think they pick up where they left off, you might look at the over there, but 50 wins is a pretty good number in that Western Conference. That, of course, again, at FanDuel, sportsbook.fanduel.com, a presenting sponsor here on Old Man Squad Fantasy Basketball. And if you're going to play fantasy sports this year, check out fantrax.com/Old Man Squad. That's just how they know how you heard about him. As I've said a million times, it's totally free. It's not like a thing you got to go buy. Fantrax is just like Yahoo ESPN. It's a hosting site. They just do full season fantasy better commissioner tools, better just options in general, better. They take more care with their stuff. They care about full season fantasy and not 1,000 other things. Check them out, fantrax.com/Old Man Squad. Mr. Stock, we're talking to Adam G. Stock. That's how you can find him on social media of Elite Fantasy Basketball. You are the Grand Poobah at Elite Fantasy Basketball. Where are we going after Donte? By the way, we've gone Reaves, Okongwu, Camara / Asar Thompson, Jakob Poeltl, Donte DiVincenzo. That's the list so far. Who's next?
Okay, so if you miss out on Asar and Camara, then you go Tari Eason in the later rounds. Like similar
Love it.
type of guy. Honestly, like the ceiling and floor aren't, or not the floor necessarily, but the ceiling isn't that different from those guys. Like he was a mid round guy last year, and I think the Fred it was looking a little bleak once the Rockets loaded their front court. But now with Fred out and they got to run some wacky lineups. I think Eason can get to 25, 26, which is all he needs. And One thing that I always keep in mind at this point in season 2, if a guy's role isn't perfect, if he's just like one injury away, then I still want that guy because by week 2, almost all the rotations are going to be missing a guy. So even if Eason's minutes do come in a little low, once a first injury hits in Houston, then boom, he's back in 25, 26. He's a mid-round guy. And at his price, there's really no downside. It's not like anyone in that range is getting like reliable guys in that range.
I need people to see what you've done here because I have my free Google sheet where I just am tracking all this stuff, and I've tried to color code things mostly so that I don't forget what I've said and done. And here is the players down in like the 140 range, and the bright green freaking Tari Eason right there. I swear to God, man, you're in my head. Get out of my head.
I like Bobby too.
Yeah,
Bobby.
I think this
especially
is
in Roto where you can just pick your spots. He's amazing.
Yep. Yeah, and that wasn't what I wanted to necessarily show off there, but like Eason, there's Eason. By the way, here, let me scroll up and show who the other bright green was up in the top part. There's
Reaves.
Austin.
Yeah.
Wait, let me go find one in the middle. Where am I looking at here? There's Toumani Camara. Bing, 123.
For sure. Keegan's good value too. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. I just like we're two peas in a pod, man. You and I cannot play in the same leagues. It would be a bloodbath.
For sure.
It'd be an absolute bloodbath.
Yeah, like picks beside each other, especially or something.
Oh, I'd be so sad and mad, and also have great respect because I knew exactly what was going to happen there. I've lost track of how many names we've covered, but I know you have a few more. So where do you want to go from Tari?
Let's do Isaiah Jackson now. This is a guy I love since day one, but I was kind of like unsure if it was going to hit. But now that it looks like he's going to start, it's like, okay, now let's go. Like, let's get aggressive with him. I mean, he could be a mid-round big that you get in the late rounds. He's if he can even get to like 26, 27, he's going to be a huge contributor in field goal percentage, rebounds, and blocks. And he'll probably come with a pretty nice steal rate too, for a big. He's also done a decent job at the line in the past. I don't know if I would bank on that. I would probably assume like mid to high 60s, but he did the last time he was healthy, shot like 71. So there's a ton of upside here. And he has pretty minimal competition for playing time. I know some guys were hyping Jay Huff, and like no disrespect to Jay Huff, but he's a 28-year-old who's never been in a rotation before. So I'm not too worried. Like you look around the league, how many guys like that have become big minute guys? Like that's not
zero.
Like maybe like Chris Boucher a few years ago for like 1 year, and then he disappeared again. Like that was the only one I could kind of think about.
Yeah, because like ultimately he's not very good. Like
you have to think. Yeah, like the league has looked at him and says this isn't a rotation guy. Like the Pacers might have to make him a rotation guy, but this isn't someone teams are falling over themselves to play.
No, and like the per minute stuff on Isaiah Jackson is crazy. And there's a show that's about to drop. You and I are recording this before my show with Eric Ong drops, but he dropped an Isaiah Jackson in there as well. And he's way the hell down the board right now. I think Isaiah Jackson has a rank of 420 or something absurd like that. I know, like he's the one where no one's going to remember because you have to scroll literally so far. You're scrolling past, like, at this point,
dudes who aren't in the league.
Yeah. Hundreds of players that don't matter at all to get to Isaiah Jackson. And Yahoo's going to do another board at some point, and he's going to bounce back into it because they're going to see and hear all this stuff. And they're like, how the hell did he get down here? Like, did we confuse him with some other Jackson or some other Isaiah? I don't know. Did they think he was... Who's another Isaiah? Who's Isaiah Stevens? I don't even know who that is. Apparently he's on Sacramento. Maybe they thought he was that guy. Yeah, I mean, this is like the ultimate in flyer. Because Josh and I had a conversation on the show last week of like, what's a flyer really? Is a guy that you're like, okay, who cares if it doesn't pan out? You don't have to take him at any point that causes an actual expense to your draft wallet, auction, snake, whatever. Literally, you can take him whenever you want, and it's just all upside from there. If it hits, amazing, because he could blow through the roof. And if it doesn't, who gives a crap? You're going to get him in the 13th round. Like, I love it. I love it. And, we've been waiting for this opportunity for him for multiple years. What was it, 2 years ago or 3 years ago that we thought he and, who's the backup center on the Bulls now? These guys were supposed to, like, do stuff in Indiana.
Oh, Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, Jalen Smith. And And then it is like it never happened. Both those guys flamed out fast that year, and we all were enraged. And now we've got this thing again, and it's like short-term memory kind of thing.
Yeah, those guys are always traps because it seems like they're just like so close, but then they never get there. It reminds me of like Day'Ron Sharpe in the Nets. Like I want to see him as a starter sometime, but I don't know if he'll ever get there.
Yeah, because sometimes they're just not that great. But like exactly. Miles Turner's gone. There's nobody there.
It's really just like did the Achilles just mess with him too much? Like that's the only question. Like the Pacers want to get. He's the guy. He knows the system. He's been there for a while. He's the guy they want to be good.
Right.
It just depends if he's not physically able.
The good news is he's 23. So hopefully if ever there was an age someone might be able to bounce back, it would be someone who's,
Yeah, it's not a death sentence these days either. I mean, you got old man KD coming back from it, no problem. So I think he'll probably be all right.
Yeah. How many guys you got left, just so I can budget our time here?
I had 3.
Okay, we can do that. Let's do 2 to 3 minutes on each. Who's next?
Okay, my next one's Oubre.
Yes.
I have probably bet against Paul George every year since he left OKC, and I've been wrong once. So and this year I don't expect that to change. Like if you're fading Paul George, you should be high on Oubre because they're connected. The Sixers don't really have much of power forward, so they're gonna have to play some small ball with Oubre there. And there's just gonna be a lot of stretches this year where he's getting the Nick Nurse treatment, playing 34, 30, 35 minutes. We saw what happened last year. He was top 100. And then stuff like punt assists, like you can make him like top 75, like a mid-round guy. So for me, he's just that easy target at the end of the draft.
Look at the damn G sheet, Stock. You're killing me right now. He's the other bright green one in there. I am 100% with you. 150% with you. He's saying the right things during the preseason as well, just about like how he's going to play. And honest to God, I don't even really care if Paul George comes back. I still think Oubre plays.
He's still a 30-minute guy. In that scenario for sure.
It's Embiid. Embiid's the one that takes the usage away from all of these other dudes. Okay, fine. If Joel comes back and plays more than 40 games this year, I am more than willing to wear that Oubre didn't turn out to be a great pick. But like, even if you get 40 games of Oubre,
I would still say that's a great pick. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Love this one. Love this one a lot. Like full health is kind of the only way that this one doesn't work the way that we want it to work. That is where I'm at with Kelly Oubre. Who else you got? And let's see if you hit one of my other bright green ones. You've hit like 4 out of the 7 already.
I know one of them isn't, but one I don't know. This is what I've come to lately, and I haven't really talked about it on the site too much. But Mitch Rob has really got my attention in preseason. Like I think the Knicks are going to do a lot of double big lineups. Like I'm not 100% sure he's going to start. I think there's a pretty decent chance, but like I think we're going to see a fair amount of them. Like he might be able to get into the mid-20s this year, which for Mitch Rob, is enough. Like, is he going to stay healthy? Who knows? Probably not. But I mean, late round pick, why not? You can get a pretty big difference maker in the big man categories. Like with your final round pick, I definitely take Isaiah Jackson over him. But as a final round guy, there's not too many nice bigs there for sure. So now that Mitch Rob is popping a little bit, he's one of my guys in the last round.
So let me ask you the sort of impact follow-up question on Mitchell Robinson. What does this do to Karl Anthony Towns?
Yeah, so it's definitely a problem for Towns. But I don't think it's a huge problem for Towns because it's just rebounding rate, because his block rate didn't come back last year. So normally you'd worry about both of those. So yeah, but I'm still taking Towns. I still prefer him to those punt field goal percentage guys. Just he gives you more team building flexibility. Like my approach to the late first round is I'm not going to punt field goal percentage with one of those guys unless I have to. So I still like Towns personally. I don't really care if he ends up 15th on a per game basis. Like that's not what I'm really basing my decision at the end of the first on. Like if one guy's 15th and one guy's 9th, like I still want the guy, like the right pick for me is whoever I think I can build the best team around. Like I'm not too worried. Like in that range, the value gap isn't huge. Like there's a huge gap between like top 3 and like 12, but like stuff between like 15th and 10th, like stuff like that doesn't really matter. So yeah, Mitch Rob would definitely hurt Towns, but again, like Robinson's probably not going to stay healthy too. So if you're like Towns, I wouldn't really be scared off by the recent developments.
All right, who's the? Wait, you got 2 more? No, 1 more, right?
Last guy, yeah. So this is kind of timely. This is another preseason one. So Jerome, was kind of like
Interesting.
my
Okay.
go-to 13th round guard because obviously not a sure thing, but you just look in that range and there's no guys that can contribute in all the guard categories. But hypothetically, he can. So there's two big questions. First big question is will his per minute number stick? And that's hard to believe because he was legitimately more productive on a per minute basis than most All Stars last year. He's the top 20 per minute guy, like
Yeah.
unbelievable per minute guy. Shot the lights out. Came out of nowhere too. Like I liked him at Virginia and stuff, but I always thought he was going to be just like a third string guy. But like, so that's the question. Remains to be seen. And the second one was, is he going to be ahead of Scotty? And last night he was. So that got my attention. So I don't think we can lock that in yet. But if he can stay ahead of Pippen, then he'll probably be useful. And I think there's a decent chance that he does because I think he does a better job of replacing what Bane gave them than Pippen would. But that's not to say I don't like Pippen. If Morant's out, I want both guys.
Do you think that this is? Do you think Ty Jerome can stick even once the Grizzlies are healthy, or is this like a get off to a fast start kind of guy?
I think he can stick just because he's so nasty on a permanent basis. So like last year, he was borderline top 120 minutes. You can't expect that because that's just ridiculous per minute production.
Right.
But let's say he slips a bit, but he gets to like even 25 minutes. Like that will cancel itself out. So I think when they're healthy, he can still be pretty good. I mean, they were playing players who I would consider worse than him, like minutes in that range. Like Jalen Wells played what 25, 26 last year.
Yeah.
Like Jerome's better than he is right now. So like I think he can get into 25, 26.
And ladies and gentlemen, Adam G. Stock just gave you 11 stinking names on this show. That is a new I can't call it the My Guys episodes. That's Dr. Ace. I cannot take that from him. I can, however, call it the My Dudes episodes. That's how we get around copyright infringement here on Old Man Squad Fantasy Basketball. That's a My Dudes record from Adam G. Stock. Let me put your face back up there a little bit bigger so everyone can see that Twitter handle at Adam G. Stock. Elite Fantasy Basketball. I have referred to you for a number of years as the punt master, but obviously you're so much more than that. He is a draft expert. He will get you through this thing. I love that idea of like the fast start. That's a really cool idea. And I haven't seen that almost anywhere. Is anybody else doing that?
I hope not. No,
Yeah.
no, I just like, yeah, it's just usually it's like reader ideas. They say like I would love more on this, and I just kind of brainstorming, try to come up with something
Right.
unique. I like putting out unique stuff because
Because
yeah,
that's fun and cool.
it's good. It's good for marketing. It gets guys' attention, but it's fun for me too. Like I just like kind of like brainstorming and trying to come
But
up
what
with
you've
something
done,
new versus doing the same thing every year.
you've taken this tried and this long-standing concept of like everybody wants pairs. They want their first and second pairs, which I'm not a huge fan of. I do the show because people like it, but it's not my favorite thing because what you do is my answer to what that show should be, which is I don't want my team to be shoehorned into a particular exact build after 2 picks. I want to have a little bit of options going after that, but like after 4 or 5, you have a pretty damn good idea of what the hell your team's going to be. So here's how you build that foundation. You and I we both have an appreciation for all 9 categories. Let me ask you one last question before I let you get back to your day. And I already know the answer to it is, how do you feel about punting assists this year?
Yeah, I always like punt assists.
I know you
I
do.
mean, the ones like think about how that takes a huge chunk out of a lot of those first rounders. If you're
Mm-hmm.
playing Cade or Trey, like those guys, I'm not those guys are kind of like mediocre if you're punting assists. Like nobody is scared of Trey Young. Like if you're punting assists, it's
Mm-hmm.
like top 100 guy. Cade's probably top 80. I'm talking about like I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but like the drops are like that significant. Take a bite out of Jokic. It's really just the bigs hold up, and the bigs are all a little sketchy in the first, like AD's AD, and then Towns isn't the most durable guys, and so you're taking a big bite out of just basically everyone else almost.
You
So
know what?
yeah,
I thought of one other question I wanted to hit you with before I let you go, and that is, what do you do? Because I get asked this one a lot, and my answer is usually just build a well-rounded team, but that doesn't work for a lot of head-to-head players. What do you do if you start your team with a relatively well-rounded first rounder? Someone, I guess, the names that come to mind that fall into that category would be like and I'm not thinking about the top 5 necessarily, although I guess
Yeah.
Shea falls into that.
Yeah, SGA does it too. You can do it with anything.
So Shea, Anthony Edwards, Cat,
Fans,
Booker, even these days is
Mhm.
more well-rounded. What do you like to do when you start with a less sort of categorically polarizing player?
Yeah, like at that point, I'm definitely not locking into anything after round two. Like I have an idea of where I'm going to go, but I'm probably considering two or three things. So with those guys, I'm thinking about category scarcity a lot, and it's not like those guys have perfect lines either. You look at like SGA does, but like Booker and Towns, like you still got to think about steals,
Right. Defensive stats
with
are
those
weak
guys
there.
for sure. And just like you can never have enough points, assists, and free the percentage impact in the early rounds if you're just deciding not to punt those. So a lot at those points, I'm looking at category scarcity, trying to go into round three, keeping my options open as much as possible. Or if there's a specific build, like if I really want to punt assists with Cat, I definitely want to like keep that open. So I'll be going after points and threes because I know I'm going to run into issues with points and
So
threes
like a
with
Steph or
punt
someone
assists.
like that.
Yeah, exactly. Maxi, Mitchell. Honestly, all those guards like that go top 15-ish, but aren't the punt field goal percentage guys are like, yeah. So Steph, Mitchell, and Maxi, really nice punt assist guards, actually. Like you say,
Yeah.
oh, they average 5-6 assists. That's not a big number, especially in the early rounds. Like they don't lose much value at all.
Where does
If you
KD
touch
fall
it.
into this mishmash for you?
We're right around there. I'd probably take him slightly after that, just because I never trust him with his health. But for, like
Right.
from a per game standpoint, yeah, no, he's awesome. He could be. I don't think he's going to be like eighth, but he could be like 12th or something like that. But again, same guy. Like with him, you got to get the steals. So while he is like well rounded, it's not perfect. You still have to try to complement him. So like
Yeah.
KD and one of those guards, not Steph, but Maxi or Mitchell. That's a nice start. If you want to get a little spicy in 12 or in 14 team leagues, that's a really nice target.
Love it. Okay, now I'm gonna let you go for real this time.
Okay.
Apologies. When we get talking about draft strategy, I have a lot of trouble letting you go. That's where
Yeah.
I'm at with this.
No,
So
I love it because I write this all the time. I don't get to like talk to people about this all the time. I don't do my own
talking to
pod, but
grown-ups, you
yeah,
got kids
yeah.
too. When the hell do we talk to grown-ups?
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm gonna throw in my my baby voice again in about like three minutes.
Mine are gone. They're at school.
Yeah,
This is when, well, a lot of times this is when I like sit at home. Although you saw me, like I had just finished up like 35 minutes on the phone with a Verizon technical support rep.
yeah,
So talking to you is a really nice part of my day right now. I set
yeah.
the bar super low, Stock. So like you could have
But
come in and called me a bunch of mean names and it still would have been a better time.
I'll keep that in mind for the future. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Adam G. Stock on Twitter. I kept him longer than I said I would. Check out Elite Fantasy Basketball. Stock, I'll talk to you soon, my man.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Adam Stock, man. I call him the punt master, but he's really the draft master. I got to get a better nickname for him. Punt master is pigeonholing. He is neither a pigeon nor a hole. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please check out our friends over at the HOF app. And as I've said this before, if you like the fact that I do a billion things for free and you're like, I want to give Dan $1, that's now fine. Instead of doing it through YouTube, because they take 30%, you can do it through Patreon. Patreon.com/oldmansquad. I will not allow you to give more than $1. That's the only option that I've clicked because I don't think I deserve more than $1. And I'm going to do all this stuff for free regardless. So it's very much optional. It won't change anything I do or anything you get, but I am grateful to those that have jumped in so far. There's like 40 or 50 of you. That's cool. I appreciate it. I really do. But you don't have to. I'm going to still give you everything for free. HOF app as well. I keep forgetting to do their reads. I'm very sorry, HOF app. Please check them out if you want to win when you make sports wagers by using promo code SQUAD, SQUAD, and you get a week free so you can see what the app is all about. And if you like it, you get half off your first month. After that, all of that is with the code SQUAD over at the HOF app on iOS or Android or hofapp.com on a traditional computer. Adam G. Stock is where you can find my dude on Twitter. Please subscribe to Old Man Squad while you're here. We got 3-4 shows going out almost every single day right now. I'm at Dan Besbris on social media. I will definitely see you over there. So long for now, everybody. Appreciate you.